Greetings and salutations, everyone. Welcome to a quick life and review video. I'm, of course, Samus, and thanks very much for watching this video. Don't forget, we're recording this as part of our live stream on twitch.tv or youtube.com/SamusGarobo, and I'd appreciate it if you would do me a favor and follow/subscribe in those places so you can know when we're going live. Alright, so if you watched the previous video, I did a Scourge life experimenting with using light maces to try to overlap where Scourge intersects with Swashbuckler. And it's not that bad. It's okay. Is it great? Is it the best? No. Would I recommend it for like knocking out some Scourge lives? Yeah, it's fine. I would suggest normally not taking the rogue levels, however, and instead taking a cleric level. Getting the divine might would be really big. Getting the free a magical training feat would be big. Stuff like that. So like a few little tweaks here and there could make the build actually really good, really fun. Now, all that being said, would I prefer this build to be a two-handed fighting instead of a single weapon fighting? Yes. Yes, I think so. I think just taking the two-handed fighting line would have felt like I was doing more damage. Yes, we were talking very fast. Yes, we had a pretty reasonable amount of double strike. Not the same amount of double strike we'd have on a dagger build. Nor are we attacking at quite that same speed. Similar, it's very close. It is very fast, but could have used a little bit more. So, on the rebuild, as I try to do, I try to like take the things that I thought were weak from before and play with them here. So, previously we had tier 5 Swashbuckler, and we had the capstone from Fade Arc Illusionist. I really do like the capstone from Fade Arc Illusionist. However, I think this is probably a little bit more universal for people. Having 42 points in the War Chanter tree gives you an awful lot of crowd control, a reasonable amount of stay-in ability, and a reasonable amount of damage. If you could find a good light mace, maybe this build would be viable. I don't know if there's such a thing. But if there is, you could probably do some tweaking with it. Things that kind of stood out to me was by giving up the capstone and Fade Arc Illusionist, we were going to have a DC drop overall of our illusion spells. However, because we freed up those points, we're able to put a little bit of action points into the Scourge Bard. And if you notice, Music of the Sewers gives +1 to illusion and evocation spells and enchantment. So we picked up a little bit there. And then the Marigold Crown, we can pick one of the 3 schools and get a little bit more DCs. So theoretically, our illusion DC is pretty good. Don't know if this plus gives us our illusion DCs. Yeah, we're +18, and then if we need to, we can kick things up a little bit more. So we can be +20 in addition to whatever else goes in the color spray. So I think we could get that reasonably well. I dislike that you can't see the actual number in there. Let's see. The other thing that's going on in particular is that I did take Skirmisher because I feel like that big dodge makes a big difference. However, we still max out our dodge at 23, so it's still not the end of the world. With some gear swaps, we could probably fit in a little bit more dodge expansion, but do we really have wiggle room? I'm not sure. We probably do. The other thing that I really liked was taking the Fleeting Footsteps as well as the fast movement. I felt very quick this life. Even for a large character, I felt very fast. The crowd control aspects with the various freezing, spinny ice stuff, North Wind, Frozen Fury, etc. felt very good. So overall, I think Bards are in a strong spot. It's possible that with the upcoming what is it, 48.4, or whatever it is. Single weapon fighting might get an even bigger kick in the pants, in which case then it might become very, very good. I'm not sure. Again, it depends on whether or not you can find a weapon that you consider good for a good mace, a good light mace. The other thing that's really nice about this build, though, specifically taking illusionary weaponry, was having the ability to conjure a Shadow Blade that generally bypassed most things or damage reduction most of the time. Felt very strong to me. But again, I think that's just one of the numerous perks in Fey Dark Illusionist. Alright, everybody, with that, I'm out of here. Again, thanks very much. Would I give this a build? Give it a letter grade? It's probably like a B+, A-, somewhere in that ballpark. Like, I think with a little bit more time, energy, and work, and looking at the gear and actually figuring out gear, you could have this build be very strong. I have no idea what that gear pile looks like. My gear is definitely incorrect. But I just kind of cobbled it together with what I had in my backpack, which is kind of normal for me. So I think in the hands of somebody with a little bit more creativity and a little bit better job of in willingness to farm out things, as well as instead of taking the rogue level, taking a cleric level, I think this could definitely creep up into the really solid utility crowd control type build. We were doing Reaper 6s today. I didn't feel like I contributed as much in the damage department as I could have, but I definitely felt like I was helping crowd control things pretty well between color spray, freezing things. Oh, I just hit the jump button. Freezing things, dancing things, etc. I was even having Dire Charge land at a pretty reasonable rate. Not great. It's only 100, or sorry, it's only 86. Because we haven't really invested heavily in getting charismas and stuff through the roof, but that it was landing even in Reaper 6s at a reasonable rate. So again, I think if you had the Divine Might, you would really love it. Otherwise, 150 MMR and 100 PRR. I don't know, feels fine. Not amazing, but fine. And what do we got for standing hit points here? 1995 in Epic Defensive Fighting. Epic Defensive Fighting off just 1,500. So again, a reasonable amount. I think it's fine. You give it a shot and let me know what you think. Alright, everybody, with that, I'm out of here. Thanks for watching the video. I really do appreciate it. Don't forget to thumbs up the video and subscribe on the YouTube channel. Appreciate it. Toodles.